What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol MMAT for Metamaterials Inc. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. Now, this is a stock that we use to cover semi-regularly now on the channel, and the main thing to discuss here is kind of its lack of interest now. What you can clearly see is that volume is tapering off to the downside, which is not a good thing when you're trading stocks that are really driven by momentum. So it's not to say the chart's destroyed, but you're probably not due for any of these massive run-ups like what we saw in here until momentum and volume really comes back into the stock. So if you start seeing a day where volume is above average again, that's where you want to start getting involved. That's where there is potential for big momentum moves like what we saw in the past. So a couple of things to discuss. Clearly, the secondary trend line has broken, and as well as the primary, right? Noting that it really came from the 30-minute. If we look at this, here is your anchor, certainly touch one here, and we're breaking it sideways through time. So it's not the most bearish break. Obviously, a more bearish break would have looked something like this, right, with a close back down towards that 200. But as of right now, it's no longer really in place. We'll clean that up off the chart. The main thing to be watching and probably being patient about would be, how does this area right here start to resolve? Just noting that if it does resolve to the downside, I would step out of the way here as volume sort of dries up, right? You just don't want to be involved to the downside until it comes into some of our next major areas of support. Notably, we have this 413, and then after that, the main one to really focus on is the $3.74 mark. So the two areas where there is potential, in my opinion, for a stab long would be here. So if we start printing hammers, indecision dojis, basically anything that makes you question, is the pullback coming to an end? Can we flip long over these highs and get back up into some of the range which we had in here? That would be the first place. And then again, the same thing holds true for $3.74. A close underneath 374, not interested inside of metamaterials until, again, momentum really picks up and it wants to prove that there is potential for a large upside move. I think it can go sideways back underneath that 347, and again, just don't want to be involved if that happens. Nothing to really glean from the 30-minute intraday time frame chart. You can just see we're bopping around in this range, and again, I would be patient here. If there is going to be a momentum break, it's probably being patient for the move up and over 550 to get us into this most recent high at 642. But again, you really need the volume to push us there. It's not going to happen on dwindling volume, which you can clearly see is what we have in place right now. So that's the update here on metamaterials. Really being patient on this one, seeing if it wants to come back to life in some sort of future scenario. So if you enjoyed the video or learned anything new, certainly let me know down below in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.